We've been talking about what's being called a bingo casino that's proposed for Perdido Key. They're actually doing some of the groundwork. It's moving forward right now. Just cleared a major zoning hurdle just last week. This morning we're talking with Valentino, Commissioner for District 2. Perdido Key is in your district for the Escambia County Commission. And you've caught a lot of heat over this issue. We showed a few quotes from an editorial, some pretty choice words directed your way for your support of economic development in this fashion coming out to the Key. I wanted to ask you about any other plans for economic development for Escambia County that have come across your desk lately.
Yes, Dan, there have been. There's been over 80 entrepreneurs, I'll call them, coming through our doors since we started this job 2 years, 4 months ago. And for all of them, they've asked for some level of anonymity or confidentiality, and I'm going to maintain that. That's at the grassroots level. And because economics and business is my background, I'm going to continue to stick my nose in it and be maybe a thorn in some people's side, and hopefully for the greater citizenry, a solution for the greater good. But the real issue is the economic development engine we have in this county, and how it operates right now. And Mort O'Sullivan, on behalf of what I call an ad hoc group of citizens that came together, that were not having to obligate themselves of being put in the sunshine, had the privilege of working, so to speak, behind the scenes to create a vision of their own with and through the Chamber of Commerce. And they presented it to a joint meeting of the city and the county this past week at the Hackler room at the City Hall. And we had a very good presentation from Mort O'Sullivan. I'm on board with about 60 to 70% of it. I think it's sound. It happens to mirror most of what I've had in my file folder for the last 5 years of research. There are some distinctions I'm going to be bringing forward at the right time, one of which in particular is how do you fund a robust economic development entity, and to whom should it be accountable to, and what is its structure of governance, and how distant should it be from the Chamber of Commerce, or how distant should it be from the county commissioners? We don't want to put ourselves back into a situation 12 years ago regarding the soccer complex and a certain commissioner. We want to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Are you talking about basically a separate economic development corporation, maybe, that would work for Escambia County?
Could be, sure. Now, the group I mentioned earlier has given a very good presentation, and they're a real class act group of players, top gun players on that committee, representing a good cross-section of the county. And they brought forward this presentation, and now the city is going to look at it within their committee of the whole workshop-type sessions, and so is the county commission. And once we get through that, we are going to boil out what we think is the ideal solution. The beauty is that we're all trying to do something better. How we get there can be a little bit of consternation and pain and egos flaring and tempers flying from time to time, but it's all in the spirit of trying. We all want a better Escambia County. We all want a better Pensacola. Because guess what? The world around us is already doing it. We've got to get into the major leagues. And in order to get into the major leagues, we've got to look the part and we have to act the part. And sleazy bingo does not complement that kind of image. So I want everyone to know that class act and raising the bar is what I'm all about.
You talk about all the negative connotations that bingo brings to it. A lot of people just say, you know what, just not on Perdido Key. Even if they, maybe they even would go to a bingo parlor or a casino, they don't want gambling on Perdido Key.
Who's they, Dan? I'm sorry.
Well, I heard these quotes.
Well, that's the problem. They is a select few people that the media sometimes gets captured by that seems to have caused former commissioners and government to have a situation where the tail's wagging the dog. PKA did it with stopping the TIF from going forward until it recently got reversed at the Supreme Court level to fund the widening of road. A health safety, public safety issue, whether we want it or not. A commercial use in Perdido Key was part of the neighborhood plan. They designed the neighborhood plan. to incorporate a certain level of mixed commercial use.
So do you think that this is just a small group of people that don't want this casino?
The calls coming into my office are substantially, and emails, are substantially weighed in favor of this approach once they knew the whole story. The problem is the anonymity and confidentiality was breached, and the stories was leaked out, not by my office, to Mr. Proctor, and half the story got out there, and half-truths distorted the spirit and intention of this whole group. A group of Indians who are, isn't this ironic? The Indians who we massacred are now the solution to bringing forward an economic stimulus to this area to save this community. Isn't that a paradox?
You know, what are we looking at here? I mean, what happens as far as the county commission goes? I know that it's cleared a zoning hurdle just in the last few days. Is this a reality? Is this going to happen no matter what people think about it?
Well, it's not a matter of what people think about it. If there's a legal issue that has been violated, these folks need to appeal and come forward. I represent them too. And they need to make sure that their objections are sound and legal and sound. But if it's what I would call a lot of vitriolic diatribe, it won't hold up at supervisor decision levels or in a court. And the answer is we represent everybody, not just a select few who object to this. And it is not going to be the showcase. It is merely going to be a complement or a component of a much bigger economic venue that's going to be world class. I want it to be better than all the communities to our east and better than all the communities to our west.
We got to go. We'll have more in focus just after this.
For a limited time.